It's here, it's finally here! What's going on, YouTube? And as you could tell just by the sheer excitement on my face, it is finally here. My most anticipated figure of the year is finally here. I am such a huge fan of this guy. I base a lot of the things I do on this channel, the way I conduct myself, just to my logo, to everything about this one guy. And that's right, if you guessed it, and you know me well enough by now because you've been watching me for quite some time, I got in the AEW Series 4 Unmatched CM Punk. Best in the world! It's toy unboxing time! This is the most anticipated figure for me. I've been waiting for this for quite some time now. I'm so happy he's back wrestling. I'm so happy he's finally getting new figures and some new merch and all that other stuff coming out. And Jazzwares does such a great job with this AEW line. I was just so ecstatic when they announced his figure. Now, I did order these from Ringside. I did order two. Unfortunately, no chases, so God knows what I'm gonna have to go through to get the chase. However, I do want to do a unboxing and review of this figure, which is what we're gonna do right now. So let's go ahead, let's get set up in the photo booth, take a look at the box, take a look at the figure, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. All right, guys, and here is your first look at the figure in the packaging itself. As you guys can see, it's got the All Elite Wrestling up there, CM Punk on the side, Unmatched, got that nice photo right there of CM Punk. Also on the back, we've also got the moment when he returned. That was at the All Out at Chicago. That was when he fought Darby Allin, and he actually wore the long tights. That was actually one of the first times I've actually seen him wear pants and not tights, so that was kind of interesting. Got his cool little signature there on the back. Obviously, you can see all the other figures that came in this wave, which I do have, but obviously none of them to me is as important as CM Punk, which is awesome. And again, on either side, you've got the All Elite Wrestling logo and the Unmatched collection right there. So let's go ahead now, let's get this figure out of the box, and let's take a look at the best in the world. Guys, and here is what comes in the box. Obviously, you guys saw he had the jacket on him, so I took it off just to give you guys a better look at it. So we've got two open hands right here, which has the signature X on the hand, like it always does. And then on one hand, it says drug, and on the other hand, it says free, because we all know CM Punk is straight edge, but the hands look really great. They did a good job on the application there. There's like no overspray or anything like that, so cool there. We got the signature AEW microphone. Mine is a little bent because in the packaging they had it wrapped to his hand with some kind of like rubber tie, so it kind of made it warp, but hopefully, you know, bending it and taking it out of the box might straighten it, but otherwise pretty cool. You can see it has the AEW logo going all around. And certainly last but not least, the infamous Larry jacket. So for all of you that don't know, Larry is CM Punk's dog. If you don't follow CM Punk on social media, he's always posting about stuff that he's doing with Larry the dog, which is cool. So you can see right there, it's got the nice Larry right there, and then has this really cool picture of Larry on the back, which is awesome. And they did such a great job on this. This is a nice soft goods material, so it's got a little bit of stretch to it. It's really cool. It's got the Velcro, you know, you guys can see right there, the hood and everything. So this is really cool that they were able to do the Larry jacket as part of his first figure. And there's a picture of his dog, Larry. So pretty cool accessories that come with this. So now the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and let's get a look at the figure itself. Guys, and here is your look at the CM Punk figure, and just first impressions. This is awesome. Jazzware nailed the tattoos on this figure. I gotta be honest with you, in other figures in the past, they haven't been able to hit on a lot of key points due to licensing and copyright issues, but two of the cool things on here that a lot of people will notice, especially if you're wrestling fans. One, he's got the Cobra tattoo right there, and then he's also got the Pepsi logo in some way, shape, or form, which is something that WWE hasn't been able to do in the past because of licensing, so I don't know if they worked out some kind of deal with Pepsi to make that happen. We've got the straight edge right there across his stomach. You can see the deco across his chest. I mean, these details are just, the tattoos are just so highly detailed on this figure, and it is just so freaking awesome. It's kind of weird though, on the wrist right here, a little bit of the tattoo is coming onto his white tape. I don't know if that might have been a misalignment when they were doing, I guess, however they apply the application to the tattoos onto the figure, but there's a little bit of overage on the white tape. And then again, you guys can see right there on the hand, it says drug on that side, and then free on the other side. So it's great that they did that on both hands. And like we said, he's got the long tights on this one. We got the stars, which is obviously the tribute to the Chicago flag, because he is from Chicago, and obviously CM Punk, everybody knows CM means Chicago made. So again, and then you got his little bit of a tattoo right here behind the head, behind the ear right there. Again, just first impressions of this figure is awesome. As far as the portrait goes, that is pretty freaking awesome. I love this portrait. I think they did a great job. Jazzware does definitely knocked it out of the park with this. And I'm not just saying this because I'm being biased because I'm a CM Punk fan. It's just that I've seen a lot of portraits on a lot of figures, whether they were Marvel figures or wrestling figures or just any kind of figures at all, and the portraits have always been sometimes hit or miss. Now, one thing that I noticed that people were talking about that I haven't had that problem with is the Larry jacket bleeding onto the figure. Now, I didn't have that issue. There's no black bleeding of the jacket onto this figure, so I know some other people have posted that they've experienced that. But other than that, again, this figure looks absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead now and let's look at the articulation. Okay guys, so here is the articulation. So the arm goes up yay far. He does have double jointed elbows, which is great. He does have pivoting in the wrist, you can see right there, and the wrist does do a full 360. The head goes down yay far, goes up pretty high. He does have that torso crunch, goes back pretty far too, pretty forward pretty well. The leg goes back that far, goes forward that far. He's got double jointed knees. He also does have the calf rotation, or the quad, I should say. The boot does turn too. Got pivoting in the ankle, which is great. So, I mean, again, this figure is just nothing shy of awesome, and I love this. So, let me go ahead now and let me pull in an Elite figure of CM Punk just for comparison, and we'll go from there. Guys, and here we go, side-by-side comparison. On the left, we've got the Jazzware CM Punk. On the right, we've got the Mattel Elite Series 16 CM Punk. So again, obviously you could see the difference in the coloring of the tattoos. Obviously you could tell the Elite does not have the Pepsi tattoo or the Cobra tattoo, which, you know, who knows if that could have been done to licensing rights back then. But the fact, again, that Jazzware was able to get that applied to the figure was freaking awesome. Again, also in comparison to the Mattel does not have double jointed elbows. As you guys could see, it only has single jointed and single jointed knees. So me preferably, I'm a fan of the double joints. I believe that allows for better articulation, especially if you like to do figure photography. You could definitely get them in some cool poses. As far as the abs go, I actually prefer the abs on the Jazzware because to me it doesn't look symmetrical. This looks a little bit more cleaner in my opinion. That's just me. And again, the technology as far as the scanning of the portrait has come a long way since 2011. The portrait on the Jazzware CM Punk just looks freaking awesome. Very accurate to Punk, which is great. Again, to me, I like both figures. Again, I'm a huge CM Punk guy, but if I had to choose between the two, just looking at it, I would obviously have to go with the Jazzware just because of the deco, the double jointed elbows, and the double jointed knees, and the abs, and of course the portrait. All right, guys, so in my personal opinion, I think they did a phenomenal job on this CM Punk figure. Again, this was definitely my most anticipated figure of the year, being that I'm a huge wrestling fan, also that I'm a huge fan of CM Punk. And again, this is just awesome that we're starting to get figures from him again. It's just awesome. I mean, I'm speechless. I don't know what more I can say that I already haven't said. I mean, just the tattoos on this are just freaking stellar. The paint is great. The articulation is fantastic. This is definitely one hell of a wrestling figure. The next feat for me, however, is going to be somehow able to try to acquire the Chase version of this, which God knows what kind of rabbit hole that's going to lead me down. But with that being said, if I had to give this figure a rating, I would give it a rating of fucking fuck yeah. And yeah, so guys, thanks again for joining me on this review. I know I don't do a whole lot of figure reviews, from time to time, but this is just one that I had to do. I had to do it. If I didn't do it, I would be doing myself a disservice. This figure is freaking fantastic. My only hope for future CM Punk figures is that AEW is making the Supreme figures, which is going to be something along the lines of like a WWE Ultimate Edition figure. So I do hope at some point that they do get a Supreme CM Punk, which would be awesome, because I would love like an Ultimate style edition of CM Punk. Would just be awesome. But again, there's nothing I can't say about this figure that I already haven't said. This thing is just freaking amazing, and I love it. And again, CM Punk is the best in the world. There's not much more I could say about that. All right, guys, and that is gonna wrap up another figure review video for this week. So I hope you guys like what you saw. If you do, please be sure to give a thumbs up. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe. As always, be sure to hit that bell so you get notified every time another figure review gets uploaded for your viewing pleasure. As always, you can check out all the excellent content we always offer right here at MCE. And until next time, guys, it's clobbering time! Yeah, I know. And that's what's popping.